Do you know what? We're all on this earth for a reason. We've all got our own journeys. We all get stuck in somebody else's journey. Why is that? Why do we allow other people to overrule our journey, what we're on this earth for? It's just fascinating. And why do we get triggered by silly little things? Even I do still today. But from saying that, we do recognise it, and it goes, we tell it to do. Thank you very much for the reminder. But that's not who we are today. And yeah, how strange is that we get triggered still after all these years. And sometimes we believe it. It's just fascinating. It's when you get triggered, it's how you yourself reacts to the trigger. And what I mean by trigger, so for instance, say I was reading a post, which I do read certain ones, or you put a post on and somebody does something negative. That negativity is not to me. That post isn't for me. And if that brings up a reaction, why is that bringing up a reaction? Why do we allow that reaction to come up? Because we are not that reaction. What is that reaction telling us? How do we deal with it? How do we literally deal with it? And that's what it is really. It's the reaction of our everyday programs that we have. And with these programs, the more you look into it, the more you're open to listening to your inner self, the more you can notice the triggers coming up. I just had a chat with a lady, and I said to her about it. I said, you've got to listen, literally really listen to yourself and realise or notice what you're saying to each other. And once you realise what you're saying and how you're talking to yourself, your whole world will change. You haven't got to rush. You haven't got to say I can't, because you can do anything and you can be whoever and whatever you want. Don't listen to everybody who's been negative about you. If you read a post, that post isn't meant for you, because if they put something up and it's negative, that's what's that telling you about them. If they're being negative to you, that's who they're being negative to, not yourself, but to themselves. So when you do start listening to your self-talk and reading these posts, I mean, if you put a text down and you send it to someone, and you send it with all the love and animosity that you can, but they've read it completely wrong the way you sent it, that's not nothing on you. That's the way they've interpreted it. That's their interpretation. It's got nothing to do with you. That's another one. When you start thinking about things, why do we let these things grow inside us? Because when you start letting things, for instance, say you have a bit of a disagreement with somebody, and afterwards you start and say, oh, I could have said this and I could have said that. Why retaliate to them at all? Why don't you just say, okay, and then just walk away? Because by you walking away, you keep your power to yourself and you stay true to yourself. Now, if this resonates with who you are and you want to change the way you think, go onto Amazon, type in Jane Izzat, IZATT. Look at the books, because she's releasing books all the time, and get one. You sit with her books, you feel every single word, every single chapter. You journal. They're your words, it's your book, it's your writing. But Jane just wakes you up a little bit. Hang on. It just wakes you up a little bit. Gets you thinking about who you are and who you want to be. Do you want to let somebody dictate to you and sit in your head all day? Or do you want to become the best version of yourself? That's what a book's about. And some of the books, they're all different, but they all have the same ending. Why do they all more or less have the same ending? Because every time you read one of her books, that starts to reprogram your mind into positive thinking. Because when you learn to walk, you fall down, the babies don't give up. They get up again and again and again. And that's exactly the same as our minds. How beautiful is that? So the more of our books you read, the more empowered you become with yourself. And that's all you need, is your self-love for who you are. Nobody else, just you. You're the only person that matters in your life. That's the only person you should worry about. Unless you have children, they come second. But if you don't put yourself first, how can you be the best parent for them? Because if you become ill, how can you support them? And that's really it today. So if you don't love yourself today, remember that I really, truly, unconditionally love you.